Hey, so I'm going to talk about parenting because this is an issue that is very dear to my heart, and I feel like there's a lot of parents out there who never really learned how to be a parent, and I feel that part of the issue is a lot of us have had trauma and abuse, whether it was intended or not, but our inner children are wounded. And so when we are not healed, we can unintentionally hurt our own children. And that matters. It matters so much because we hurt our children grow up to be hurt adults, and then they hurt their children and other people and people they're in relationships with. It's just this never-ending cycle. Someone has to break the cycle. So there was an interaction on Facebook last night, and I'll read it all, but the poster, she was feeling lost, and she wrote her post. I said what I said. The only thing I would change is I would start out with giving her compassion. That's the only thing I would change. Because maybe if I did that, she would have been more open to listening to what I actually said instead of feeling triggered. And so there were a few other people who were also triggered by my comment, and then there was a couple that, like this one girl, like she did a great job with explaining what I was trying to say. Thankful for her. All right, so the poster, I'm assuming it was a woman, she said, feeling extremely lost. First time poster on this page. My firstborn, who is 11-year-old boy, is making the house very toxic. He is extremely rude and disobedient. Nothing is going right for us. He doesn't eat well, doesn't listen, doesn't study, doesn't help around the house. We have tried everything, talking to him, reasoning with him, yelling, punishing, begging. He is so disconnected with us. As far as we know, nothing bad or new has happened at school. He thinks we are biased and nobody cares for him. He thinks we are harder on him than we are on his little brother, who is 9. But reality is his brother accepts anything we say without a fight, while older one drags things and argues, which leads to more fights and yelling. Things settle easily and quick with younger one because he's a calm child. He accepts and moves on quickly, unlike the older boy. It feels suffocating, and I don't want things to be like this anymore. Where do I start? How do I mend the bonds before they are completely broken? And then she has a cry face emoji. Okay. So this is what I said. I said, I feel sad for your son. And I'm sorry, I'm feeling sad now because this lady can't even see herself. She can't. I said, his needs are not being met. I imagine he feels massively disrespected, unloved, unheard, and misunderstood. Instead of blaming your 11-year-old, look at yourself with a magnifying glass. You are saying so many negative things about him. I didn't see anything positive. You are abusing him and you don't even realize it. Him living with you could possibly give him CPTSD, which is complex trauma, and take decades for him to heal from. Stop abusing your son. Quote, he is so disconnected from us, end quote. You are the parent. It's your job to connect with him, not the other way around. Get over yourself and be compassionate and kind, no matter what. Try giving him unconditional acceptance and unconditional love and care. Do you even know what that means? I'm seriously asking because a lot of people truly have never thought about this deeply, what true love actually is and how to give love. Being obedient doesn't make a child a good child. If that is your condition for giving your son love, that is so very saddening. Maybe your child, sorry. Sorry. It's sad because obviously I care, and this lady can't even see it. She's so triggered, she can't even allow truth, allow a different perspective. It's sad. Okay, get yourself together. Maybe your child is disobedient because your rules are dumb. I could have said that better. Maybe he's disobedient because he doesn't feel heard, respected, and loved. Listening is a form of respect. Listen to him, to understand him, not to tell him he's wrong. His feelings are always valid, but you're shutting him down and judging him every step of the way. Just because you are in charge doesn't mean you have sensible rules. Some rules work well for one person, but not for a different person. People have different needs. It's not one size fits all. You need to be more creative with your parenting. Perhaps your child is a free spirit or a black sheep type of guy. Don't force him to be inside your tiny box. Force is not love. Yelling is not love. He is a human being. He is his own person. He is an individual. He has a heart. He has feelings. Have you ever tried asking him what his needs are? Asking him what would make him feel more accepted and loved? And don't invalidate what he says. Don't dismiss what he says. Don't judge him. Get over your own pride and ideas and beliefs about what you think should be, and instead try to see your son. Truly see him on a deep level. Why the hell would he respect people who don't even try to know him? To listen to him, to consider him. He sounds like a beautiful kid. He needs better parents. You need to learn how to be a kind, loving parent. You are the problem, not him. So, I think it's kind of obvious why someone would be triggered by that. I could have reworded some things, but I do feel like sometimes you need to be harsh. Sometimes you really need to be harsh. Okay, so then Rochelle was a triggered parent. She said, "A lot of assumptions and accusations in your comment. Didn't realize this group was about shaming parents, more about helping them." She said, quote, "You are abusing him," end quote. Quote, "He needs better parents." What awful things to say to a struggling parent. Thank God for the other people in this group commenting with sensible and okay, with sensible. Sorry. Okay. Sorry about that. I lost my place. Thank God for the other people in this group commenting with sensible and realistic suggestions, because if yours was the only one, who knows how this person would feel after posting for help. See, what I'm hearing is you care about your feelings more than you care about your kid. That is a problem. Note that yours is the only comment telling them that they are the problem and are abusing their kid. So because I'm the only one saying it, that means it's not true, or it's not, like, what does that have to do with anything? That's part of the reason why I had to be harsh, because no one else was giving her all that honesty. Someone has to do it. You realize some kids misbehave, right? You realize that not every single thing a child does or says is a result of the parent's actions. We go through similar, maybe not so extreme, with my 11-year-old, and it's exhausting. Parents are human too. We aren't punching bags that can take hits again and again without being affected. Your comment is awful, seriously. So I responded to her. I said, I care about protecting the kid. Some parents need a big wake-up call. Emotional abuse is abuse. That is a fact. Interesting that you don't think being kind and compassionate is a sensible and realistic suggestion. Many kids who misbehave do so because their needs are not getting met, as I wrote above. But you conveniently cherry-picked my comment and felt defensive and butthurt. I truly hope your kid feels heard and loved too by his or her parents. You were so triggered you didn't even hear half my message. Just as the poster feels so triggered by her son. She can't even hear him. Do you notice a pattern? So Rochelle says, quote, interesting that you don't think being kind and compassionate is a sensible and realistic suggestion, end quote. You've basically just told this person they are a terrible parent. No kindness and compassion in your comment. It's like these people are so concerned about themselves and they're losing track of, like, hello, your child is important here. Who the fuck cares about your feelings? Why don't you care about your child? Point is, you can suggest helpful techniques and put forward advice without accusing parents of abuse. What I and lots of other commenters read was that this person is human and struggling with the behavior of their child. Their child, who is preteen, probably full of hormones, most likely is playing up at times and being unreasonable, and they have tried to manage it, but they're struggling. They aren't here to tell us how wonderful their child is behaving. You accuse them of not listening to him, of shutting him down whenever he speaks, of having dumb rules, of them giving him potential PTSD, of yelling at him, of not even trying to know him. They are the problem and they should be more loving and kind. As if you have just created a whole narrative of emotional abuse in your head based on a few hundred words written down. Genuine, terrible advice. Judgmental, rude, and unhelpful. So, her opinion is valid. All right, so Nandini, she said, I don't think we should be kind and compassionate towards abusive parents who are asking how to fix their horrible child. The OP shows no self-awareness. So I think bluntness is in order. Yes. Remember, OP is an adult and capable of metabolizing these messages from strangers on the internet. The abused and scapegoated child, meanwhile, has literally nobody speaking for him other than this one commenter. Exactly. And then Grace, Grace was sensible. She said, she spoke to me. She said, do you not think some of what you might say may somewhat be on the extreme side of interpretation? Why not ask questions to draw out a deeper understanding of the family dynamics before coming on so strong? Is there maybe some potential there to shame someone away from seeking advice in what should be a collaborative space? She has a good point. A stressed mom at her wits' end, desperately seeking advice to make improvements, cannot be aided with derision, surely. Derision, what does that mean? But yeah, she makes a good point. I could have taken more time to sprinkle in sugar into my words so that it goes down easier. But again, like, sometimes you really need to be blunt. But yeah. Okay, so then Rochelle responds to Nandini, says, wow, so which is it? A horrible child who needs fixed or abusive parents? There is no kindness in your comment towards either side. Nandini says, it's a horrible child who needs to be fixed according to the abusive parent who cannot self-reflect. Yes! God, and that is the fucking problem here. They are blaming the child instead of looking at themselves. The poster says to Nandini, wow, if I were an abusive parent, I wouldn't be writing my pain here and seeking help from other parents. If I were abusive, I will be talking about my other child in the same way. That doesn't make sense. I have clearly stated that his talkbacks and aggressive attitude results in quick escalations, not giving us a chance to reconcile positively. Again, she's blaming the child. I have given positive replies to many parents here in my good times. Didn't expect this kind of accusations. Thanks, and please don't bother responding. I am grateful to all other parents who have taken time to recommend books and other advices to help me with my situation. Reading your response simply broke my heart even more as I was reading all replies in my bathroom, crying to myself just after another big meltdown because poor me. Oh. And then Rochelle comments to the anonymous poster, these people don't deserve your tears. You've reached out because you care and because you want the issue resolved. I'm going through similar and I know how hard it is. Other people have given great recommendations, genuinely helpful advice. Please do not take what these two people say to heart. They inaccurately read between the lines and created a narrative that they feel allows them to belittle your feelings and throw around awful accusations. Just terrible people, let's be honest. I suspect they'd never say that to a friend or family member who is experiencing similar, say the truth, point out what's going on. Fuck yeah, that's honesty is love. But it's okay, because they are safe behind a phone screen. Keyboard warriors, sending lots of love. Please come back with anything you feel works well for you. I could use it too. So the anonymous says, thank you so much. Appreciate every single helpful reply from others. I am reading them all and will try and follow some of the books and podcasts suggested here. We did have 3 good days from Friday to Sunday together, and today all hell broke loose. Cry emoji face. I am still pushing myself to do the right thing and to wake up with a smile, still tell I love you and offer hugs every day. I just had to reach out for some help and positivity to feel better so I could do right by my child who is very, very loved and precious. And then some guy, Riley, commented to Nandini, said, get a grip. Have you ever been exhausted, overwhelmed, and trying to figure out your child? It seems self-reflection is something you may need to consider yourself. Abusive parents don't care to reach out for help to fix the problem. Rude and completely uncalled for. And then Naringa says, I highly recommend reading a book, Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents. And then Najay, or Dajay, says, sounds like you may need to go over to a group for children with ODD. Really? Because your child is defiant? So now he has a disorder? Really? It's not because you're parenting? There are a lot of posts like this made by great parents who are exhausted and seeking the same support from others. You will find kindness and support from those groups. Sadly, people who haven't experienced this from their children won't understand, but I get it. I have an 11-year-old that is residential. So it's just disturbing because it's like, and I don't know these people, but the posts are clearly like, isn't taking responsibility for anything. So the poster's like, I just Googled this. I had no idea there was something called ODD in kids. Thank you. I will read more about it. That sounds very much like my child. Could you please give me a link to a group page? It's like they want to find something is wrong with their child because I couldn't possibly be a bad parent or need to be a better parent or change anything about myself. That is the problem here. Okay, Nendeni. She responded to Riley. I have been exhausted and overwhelmed in trying to figure out my child. I have never, however, blamed my child for making me exhausted and overwhelmed. Never blamed my child for refusing to connect with me. As if that is the child's job, and never ever played favorites between my kids, even when one was acting atrociously and the other was being an angel. And the anonymous poster said to her, thank you, but I am not a regular poster. I am posting for the first time after trying everything in my capacity to sort things out myself. Everything except, like, look at yourself. I am also considering counseling and therapy. I was looking for some insights and helpful suggestions or approaches to mend. Surely I'm not the only parent in the world feeling this way. I do show love, share hugs and kisses to my son every day. I still make meals and help him with his schoolwork. I still take him to birthday parties and play dates. I am doing everything I do to my other child. It is not easy to keep calm when your 11-year-old is screaming at the top of his voice at you and arguing meaninglessly. It is hard to show love when I am feeling anxious or having panic attacks myself due to his extreme behavior. All right, Nendeni. This is her comment. This is good because she was able to explain things. Because I was like asleep at this point. I was like not trying to have this on my mind as I'm falling asleep. All right, Nendeni. Thank goodness for you. She says, I am not sure you fully understand what abusive parenting looks like and where it comes from. You said, quote, if I were an abusive parent, I wouldn't be writing my pain here and seeking help from other parents, end quote. That's not true. You would write seeking help even if you were an abusive parent. Writing posts seeking help has nothing to do with whether you're abusive or not. What does have something to do with whether you're abusive or not is what you write and how you write it. If you were non-abusive, you would be writing things like, my child is having a hard time and I am finding it hard to connect with my kid. And my child is struggling with meltdowns and I can't find a way to repair our connection. Abusive parents write things like, he acts disconnected from me. He talks back. He makes it impossible to connect positively. He is the difficult, while my other child is so easy. The dead giveaway of abusive parents is that they feel victimized by their child and blame the child for making life hard for the parent. Secondly, you claim, quote, if I were abusive, I will be talking about my other child in the same way. This could not be more false. Scapegoating one child while treating the other like a golden child is a dead giveaway of an abusive parent. Non-abusive parents have a much more balanced and equalizing perspective about the whole family system. Non-abusive parents understand that the difficult child and the compliant child are both expressing that they are upset in their own way. Abusive parents see compliant child as just a good kid, even when the family situation is difficult, which is exactly what you're doing. Abuse doesn't happen because a parent is twirling a mustache and saying, "Ho ho ho ho, today I will abuse my child." Abuse happens when the parent is not emotionally mature themselves, not knowing how to handle their own pain. It's possible that your child is a difficult child due to his own mental health issues, but from everything you have written, it's clear that you are also an abusive parent. Again, not saying that you are twirling your mustache and saying wah ha ha, but rather that you come across as abusive through your lack of emotional awareness and maturity. You're holding your child responsible for maintaining and repairing the connection between you both, and blaming him for failing at this unfair responsibility. You are acting as if your child is the one who is victimizing you, when actually you hold all the power in the relationship. That's clearly abusive. You can choose to take this information or you can choose to leave it. You're an adult. You can't actually be harmed by merely some blunt factual feedback. You are not being victimized here on this forum either, but you do seem to be playing the victim here too. And the anonymous poster responded to me. She said, "I did not need this after what I am dealing with right now. If I were an abusive parent, I wouldn't be writing my pain here and seeking help from other parents. If I were abusive, I will be talking about my other child in the same way. I have clearly said that his talkbacks and aggressive attitude results in quick escalations, not giving us a chance to reconcile positively." Blaming the child. "I have given many positive replies to other parents here in my good days." Oh, I was just thinking, did I already read this? In my good days. "Didn't expect this kind of accusations. Thanks, and please don't bother responding." Did I read this before? Or maybe she wrote something similar to her. Okay. "I am grateful to all other parents." Yeah, because she said that before. "I just had another big meltdown. My husband is the most gentle and patient man I know, and my child is able to push his buttons to the limits. We are both feeling helpless and hopeless. Before considering therapy, I wanted to see if anyone else could help. Even if no help was offered, I was hoping some parents would say, 'You're not alone.'" You're not alone. There's a lot of abusive parents out there, lady. There's a lot of people who don't have self-awareness and can't take responsibility for their own part in the parental relationship. This goes with all relationships. You gotta own it. Then Denny responded to her, "Yo, seriously, it is not your child's job to give you a chance to reconcile positively. The fact that you keep blaming him for not doing your job for you is extremely inappropriate and alarming. You are reversing the role of parent and child. You are parentifying him." Yeah, and then the anonymous poster says to me, "You're one of those that make their kids believe they're perfect and make no mistakes and are untouchable." Am I? "And then they grow up to be little snowflakes or Karens just like you." Oh, I'm a Karen now. And my child is a snowflake. Okay. "Here, deal with that as an adult. Accept the truth about you the same as you believe the truth about this post." Okay. So this morning when I looked at all this, she had turned off the comments. I wanted to say something compassionate to her, or more compassionate. So I just wrote my own post, and then I put a short little video clip and a picture of someone that could maybe help her. So I said, To the lady who was feeling extremely lost and turned off comments, and to other parents who are struggling, Tim Fletcher has a video series on reparenting your inner child. When you feel triggered by your child or by anyone, ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? A huge gift you can give to your children is to heal yourself from your own traumas. Otherwise, we continue that cycle for more generations. A step in healing is to look at yourself with truth and honesty, even the parts that feel uncomfortable to see. None of us are perfect, but we can take responsibility for our failures and work like hell to be better each day. If you ever don't know how to respond to your child, respond with love, care, kindness, empathy, and compassion. And give that to yourself too. We all need that. And they put a heart emoji. So basically, I did a picture of that. Tim Fletcher, he helped me a lot with reparenting. He has a series on reparenting, and I haven't listened to this one about family dynamics, but I really like him. He's insightful. And then I posted a little video clip of something I saw on Instagram yesterday from High Love Parenting. She said, there are always 3 people in every parenting moment. You, your child, and the wounded child inside you who actually runs the show. Your child isn't pushing your buttons. They're touching the pain you were forced to pretend didn't exist. Your triggered response isn't discipline. It's your inner child hijacking your body to finally fight back. Your child's defiance isn't fighting you. It's fighting the invisible walls your inner child built to survive. Your crazy reactions make perfect sense. You're responding to dangers your body remembers, but your mind forgot. When your child melts down and you feel rage inside, that's not 2 people fighting. That's 2 children drowning in the same fear. The words that fly out of your mouth in anger aren't yours. They're the exact weapons once used against you, now aimed at your child. Your child's hardest moments are actually invitations. Chances for both children, yours and your inner child, to receive what was denied. To be held in the storm instead of shamed for it. Everything changes with one question. Which child am I actually responding to? The one before me or the one within me? When you ignore the wounded child within you, your actual child becomes their keeper, carrying the weight of your unhealed past on their tiny shoulders. The moment you finally hold the child within you who wasn't held, your living child breathes freely for the very first time. Your child isn't asking you to be perfect. They're asking you to heal before your wounds become their story. So, yeah, parenting is a majorly important job. And we need to be humble enough to admit when we're wrong, to even be brave enough to even see that we can be wrong. We can hurt people. It's not that we mean to, but it happens. And there's no shame in that. Just try to fix it. Try to see it, own it, and try to fix it. And one thing I've learned in this life, if you don't know what to do, anything, just choose love. Love is a superpower. It's healing, it's calming, it's caring, it's kind, it's patient. So yeah. Let's have a more beautiful world, and we do that when we heal ourselves. And when we're able to heal ourselves, we can love ourselves and have more patience and compassion for others. Anyway, Okay.